People think we don't eat carbs. I mean, I live on carbs. How do you think I run a marathon? I always think there's a positive in it. Whatever happens, bad things happen, but it's happened.
Do you enjoy this life?
I love it. I absolutely love it. And I just feel so lucky that I get to do something that I just used to do on the weekends. Sport is fun. And sometimes I think it can be taken a little too seriously.
Yeah.
But I mean, when we look at it, we're paid to get from A to B as quickly as possible. A bit ridiculous, right?
Hello and welcome to Go Wild, the podcast from PUMA, where we dive into some of our legends of sport and culture. We'll try and find out a little bit the wild side and what makes them tick. I'm Colin Jackson, I'm your host today, and I've got a wonderful guest from the world of distance running, Rose Harvey. Rose, it's fantastic. You're so inspirational for me. Maybe you're the person who's going to make me run my first marathon.
We heard it here first. Thanks so much for having me. Really excited to be here.
Now, listen, I got a fantastic intro for you, right? You ready?
Fire away.
Oh gosh, I'm nervous now. Here we go. So we're stepping into the exciting world of long distance running with the remarkable athlete who's making waves in the endurance scene. Rose Harvey, an accomplished runner and a rising star, has been capturing attention with her incredible performances. Dedication to sport, of course, is here joining us. And why I feel petrified and nervous, you got your own running podcast, so you're going to be judging me to see if I'm any good as a host.
What an intro. Thank you.
Oh, phew. Right then. Well, endurance running. Let's start there. I mean, how did you, first of all, get into that? Because, you know, it's one of these things where when I talked to lots of distance runners, they just said they were great from a kid and they just took off and they just kept going. Was that the same deal?
No, it definitely wasn't. I had a weird introduction to distance running, and at school I was terrible. I was last at sports day, and there was actually this one year when this can't happen anymore because it sounds very unfair, but the kids who are best at sports got to choose their events. And of course, sprinting, you will know, cool at school, right? You were probably the cool kid.
Well, I didn't want to say that, but now you've mentioned it, yeah.
Everyone chose the sprints.
Yep.
I was the worst, and so I got left with the 1,500 metres.
Oh.
Which terrified me because I didn't think I could run 1,500 metres at any speed. So I remember I went home crying to my mum, being like, I can't go to school. You need to pull me out of this. I can't do this sports day. And my mum wasn't very sympathetic and was like, well, you're just going to have to train for it. So she started taking me out running. And I say running to the end of the road and back. But I think that was my earliest memory of actually, A, enjoying running, and B, being like, right, okay, I thought I really couldn't do this, and I did it. And I didn't come last, which for me was just, I thought I'd peaked, to be quite frank.
Yeah.
So I did that, and then throughout university, I did no running at all. And it wasn't until much later on in life that I picked running up again, but it was just for fun. I was working in corporate law, and it was actually when I moved to London for law school, and it was a way of meeting people.
Yeah.
I didn't know that many people here. I'd just been traveling for 18 months. I was horrendously unfit. And I thought, right, kill two birds with one stone. Now what a lot of people are doing, like taking up running to get fit. And I just fell in love with it for the social scene. And it was such a wholesome activity to do. It's the antithesis to being in the office and then going for drinks in the pub. And so it really was just what I did at the weekends. And I got just hooked on it. I'd go out for these long runs with the club along the river in London. And I didn't even think about an outcome or what I was trying to achieve with it. It was literally just my hobby.
I mean, I said right in the intro there that you're inspiring, right? And listen to your story already makes me excited, because I can remember going back to those school days and yourself in here in the beginning and looking about, being the sprinters, you were saying, yeah, we were kind of like treated like mini royalty in school, right?
Yeah.
In that sense. But what I say is truly inspiring. As you get older, of course, you lose your speed. And I have 0 speed right now. So to get that buzz, to get that high and enjoy my sport of athletics again, obviously it's going and potentially going into that distance field. So for me, hearing that story really makes me go, do you know what? I can get out the front door. I think that's one of the things that is important for people, to get them out the front door.
It's taking the first step.
Yeah, yeah. And then when you did that first step, did you ever imagine that you'd be where you are today?
God, no. I mean, not even 3 years ago. I was still, in 2022, just before I signed with PUMA, I was still working a full-time job. And by that point, I had improved a lot and I was taking my running really seriously, but it just wasn't a world I ever imagined or saw myself in. And I really felt like I just fell into this. And it's just crazy to look back and think about, it feels like a different life, but at the same time, it feels so recent.
Do you enjoy this life?
I love it. I absolutely love it. And I just feel so lucky that I get to do something that I just used to do on the weekends. I get paid to do my hobby.
But does that take away the fun element? The fact that now people are looking at you, they're going, oh, there's Rose over there, there's Rose over there. And all of a sudden, you've got a bit of a target on your back as well, because people know what you've done and they go in, wow, let's get close. Let's see what we can do. Does that take away the enjoyment?
It doesn't. No. I think there are definitely those moments when running isn't always plain sailing, as you know. There are injuries, there are bad races, there are the disappointments, but it's almost the thing that I think, having had such a different life, it's given me so much perspective.
Okay.
And even through those low points in my running career, I always come back to that. I'm like, well, at the end of the day, yes, it's a bad day, but I'm still doing what I love.
Yeah.
And if this is my bad day, having a bad race, I've got it pretty good. So it doesn't really take away from the joy of it. And I think it sounds a bit cliche, but I really do find the pressure a privilege. I think, God, like, how lucky am I to be in this situation where I can stand on this stage that I looked at for all these years when I was running and thought, oh my God, these people are incredible.
Yeah, yeah.
All these people I look up to, the distance runners. Now I'm lining up with them and racing them, and I know them as friends and being competitive. It's really cool.
Well, let's get to some of the lows then. I mean, how do you learn to deal with the low points when you've trained hard specifically for competitions, and then things let you down? It could be physically or mentally.
I think you get very good at using setbacks as opportunities. And it's something that I've worked on a lot, but I also think it's a bit of a intrinsic value that I've always had. Mm-hmm. I always think there's a positive in it. Whatever happens, bad things happen, but it's happened. So you might as well help yourself.
Right.
And so I always think, right, okay, like, yes, it's bad, but there has to be something positive in it. It could just be learning a lesson. Sometimes you've got to learn the lessons the hard way. But normally in sport, there's so much you can always be working on. And I learn what I can be working on from the setbacks more than the positive experiences. The races that have gone really well.
And it's worked. It's going to return. Yeah, in that sense.
Yeah.
Now, I have been kind of a professional athlete from when I was 18. I was really lucky, right? I know, it's crazy. Now I'm 250, right? So, so it's been a long time, right? But also I've got to think about these memories now. Lots of people say to me, oh, Colin, what have you learned from athletics that you put into life today, all right? Now, your beginnings was corporate law. So when I think about corporate law, what are you learned from corporate law that you apply into your athletics world? Is there anything?
I guess just a fundamental belief that I could get there if I work hard enough.
Right.
And it's not always fun. It's a lot of hours in the library or studying. It's a lot of hours in the office once I qualified, and especially as a junior lawyer. You sacrifice a lot. I mean, Monday to Friday, I couldn't have a social life. I was like, I can't commit to it because I might have to stay in the office late and I don't want to let you down. There's all that sacrifice that you take, but it's for something that you've been really working towards, so it's worth it. So I think that really translates. I guess there's an element of being able to handle the pressure as well. It's a different pressure, but it's being able to handle, you know, client saying you've got to close this deal in 2 days, whether it's possible or not. And I think, again, the perspective thing is the biggest thing for me, really. It's just, I feel like that's the biggest thing that my career has given me. It's that perspective of sport is fun. And sometimes I think it can be taken a little too seriously. But, I mean, when we look at it, we're paid to get from A to B as quickly as possible. A bit ridiculous, right?
And I love that, because that keeps it pure. There's that purity side of things, isn't it? When you can just make it simple. Don't cloud your brain. Is there a wild side of you? What do you do to kind of let your hair down? Is there a little bit that something that's a bit wild, where you go, oh, you know, I'm going to eat 2 pizzas today instead?
Oh, I'm laughing because I was having this exact conversation with my neighbour. They said to me, so I ran the marathon on Sunday, so this week is my let my hair down, chill out week. She was like, so what do you do? You know, are you going out drinking every night? Are you eating pizza every night? And I was like, well, the problem is, I'm actually quite boring. I'm a bit lame. And I really like going to bed at 9 p.m. and getting up and doing my exercise. And being a professional athlete basically allows me to do that. And everyone thinks it's impressive rather than just thinking I'm a bit lame. It's always staying disciplined that makes you feel good racing a lot of the time, right? Because it's the same for me. You know, I think on that marathon start line, I thought, well, I've been so disciplined with my training. I've ticked all those boxes. I feel confident in that on the start line. Whereas if I hadn't, those are the moments I would have thought about, the moments of not being disciplined, of not putting in the work that would come back onto you on the start line and give you the doubts. You just don't want any of that.
Do you ever have any of those doubts then? And how do you turn
all
around
the
when
time.
you do? Yeah. What is it what are them that fly in your head just as you're lining up?
A marathon is a really long way, isn't it? And I just think so much
That is
longer.
an
It's a
understatement.
really long way. And it's funny because the challenge with the marathon is in training, you never do it.
No.
I'll never run a marathon at marathon pace in training. I won't even get close. And so it's that unknown. And it's those doubts that creep into your head. For me, it's always, you know I can run 26.2 miles. I've done it a lot. But it's whether I can do that pace. And it's all the unknowns in the race. Are my drinks going to be okay? Is my stomach going to be all right? On Sunday, it was hot. It was like, how's the heat going to affect me? And I think it's just about almost blocking it out at that stage. You're on the start line and what will be, will be.
Yeah.
You're just going to have to deal with it.
I love that. I was lucky enough. I always did race pace and training. I wasn't like, I would experience
But you
it.
have different challenges. I don't know how. I just can't imagine lining up for a race and being like, I have seconds to execute this. In a marathon, I mean, if you mess up the first mile, you've got 25 to sort it out.
To work it out.
Yeah.
You can work your way back. Yeah. But it's
can't
like
imagine.
everything. It's like training. That's what you train for.
Yeah.
That's what you do. You know, it's the same. I can imagine myself going into your first career in that sense, of sitting in front of people with them telling me this needs to be done in 2 days. You like a volume of paperwork left to go through. It's what you prepare yourself to do. I mean, we're talking about the podcast with PUMA. So when you got signed by PUMA, was that something you would have thought, hang on a minute, like, how does this happen?
It was nuts. It actually happened. I was messaged on Instagram.
Yeah.
PUMA dropped into my DMs and said, do you want to join? And I thought it was spam at first. I thought it was ridiculous. Yeah. And I just replied on there. I was like, maybe it's not. And so it was a very strange process. And I mean, I didn't know anything about how someone signed as a pro athlete anyway. But it was, I mean, from day one, it's been an incredible experience. And I'm sure you know as well, it is a genuine family.
I was going to say, do you feel, is the family treated you well?
It really has.
Good.
And I think it's so important for athletes, and it's it's rare, but it's really important because I feel like PUMA really have my back, which allows me to take risks. It allows me to run fearlessly and just focus on my performance. And I think that the key thing is I'm not scared to fail.
Yeah.
Which allows me to just go and do my best.
Yeah. I think that was one of the things that Usain always said when he was young and he signed with PUMA in that sense. He said he felt like they've got my back. And that's really important. You're right, as an athlete, to feel that you can do what's necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're talking about doubts on the start line. You don't want that to be one of them thinking, oh my God, if I mess this up, my career's ended.
You don't want that. Or our partnership, our friends, our family goes. So which shoes do you run in now then?
On Sunday, I ran in the Fast R3s.
Are those white ones?
Yes.
Let me go and get those. Oh, yes, these ones.
Yes.
So what's so special about these in your mind then? Because, coming from the world of sprinting, I have no clue. I would wear these walking into the supermarket and play, oh, these are comfy. So tell us a little bit about how those felt running.
Just incredible. I mean, they're so light.
I do notice, yeah.
Really, really light. So you just feel like there's nothing on your feet, which I can tell you I was very grateful at the end of 26 miles. You don't want any grams on your feet. And they just completely saved my legs. I mean, I don't feel that bad.
Okay.
After the marathon.
Yeah.
My legs are fine. So they really do save your legs.
Okay.
It's incredible. And I think...
This is a note, yeah. You notice I'm
Yeah.
So those shoes could be the ones on my feet to
your marathon debut.
Yeah, my marathon debut. Talk about marathon debuts and different marathons. I mean, in Chicago, I only know Chicago's a great city to shop and it's windy. I guess your experience there was a little bit different.
Yes. Chicago holds a very special place in my heart. I had a great day there.
Yeah. Well, 2:23 title.
Yes.
What was your thought process when you were just running? You're thinking, "This is it. I feel great."
It's one of those days, and this doesn't always happen at all in elite sport, but it was one of those days where it just all came together. I had a great training log, so I knew the fitness was there, but it was before that marathon I'd run 2:27, so 2:23 felt slightly scary. And it was when my coach said, he was like, I think if you have a good day, you could do it. And he doesn't say that lightly.
Right.
So when he says I can do something, I'm like, right, if he believes I can do it, I'm on. And it was I just remember feeling the whole way around so easy and so relaxed. The atmosphere is really cool at all these major marathons. There's amazing atmosphere and the crowds are great. And yeah, it just felt so relaxed about the whole thing. It was amazing.
Easy rhythm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really easy with it and just enjoying it. I think when you're relaxed, you allow yourself to enjoy it.
Yeah. Is there a difference running as an individual and then running for Team GB? Or do you just like, oh, I'm just going to just do my thing? Do you think there's added pressure?
It definitely is.
Okay.
Yes,
yeah.
It definitely is. I think it just adds this extra dimension of, it's such a privilege to represent your country. And of course, even for every marathon I do, my team put a huge amount of work into it. And I really do see it as I'm out there in the race, technically by myself, but it's not by myself. Because my team have put as much work as I have into that performance. It's my job to go and execute it for them as well. But I think then when it's Team GB as well, it's like I've been given that opportunity that so few people get. And I feel a real obligation to make the most of it and to do my absolute best and execute it as best as I can to kind of do that opportunity justice.
And do you feel like you've given it justice all the time?
I've done my best. Paris wasn't incredible for me,
but that's all you can ask for, right? People can only ask that.
Yeah. But I would like to go and do a better job. You learn so much each time, I think. And that's the thing, when you reflect, you think, I could have done a lot of things a lot better. But that's always the way, isn't it?
There's nothing wrong with that. Got to keep on striving.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, everybody who jumps in, I do a quick round questions.
Sounds good.
So you ready for these?
Go for it.
Nervous?
A little bit.
You
should I be?
No, here we go. So here we go. I'm going to ask you this now. Road, track, or trail, which you feel more at home?
Road, definitely. I love the trails. I do really love the trails. I just feel like there's something that's so freeing about being on the trails. You're in nature. There's no time isn't a thing. You're not worried about your pace or anything. But the road is where I feel that connection. It's kind of where I belong. And I feel like my body moves the best on the road.
All right, we'll do that. Give us one piece of kit you can't do without.
Oh, that's hard. I mean, there's so many pieces of kit I can't do without. All right, you know what?
Go on.
It's a good pair of shorts with pockets. I tell you why, because I have a lot of kit, but I have about 4 pairs of shorts that I just have to wear on repeat because I always need, for marathon training, you need gels. And then I run with my dog, so I need, dog bags, etc. You need some good pockets.
So
for
some
running.
good pockets, right? Okay, so we like that. So
Underrated.
Yep, all right. Okay. The most painful race ever.
Paris has got to be up there.
Yeah.
I think Paris, there were definitely moments when I was like, how am I enduring this? But
And
yes.
Was there
bad.
any stage where you would enjoy a race in Paris? Or was it always like uphill? Is one of these where you felt just, oh, it's gonna suck.
Yeah, I really tried to enjoy it, but it was just really painful, and I think both mentally and physically painful. But at the same time, I did try to, soak up the fact of where I was. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's up there with my most enjoyable races, if I'm honest.
Yeah, and that's been human.
Yeah.
That's definitely the case. Okay, what's harder, writing a legal brief or running a marathon?
Oh, neither are easy, but I mean, I know which I'd enjoy more.
I think I know which one you enjoy as well. But neither are easy. We could take it. They could be the same. They're both difficult. Yeah, it could be the same, right?
Yeah. I'd choose running a marathon.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, what's one thing about running that most people get wrong?
I think it's trying to do too much too soon.
I think that's a note for me, that, right?
So many people who get into running they go out every day and try and run a PB and try and either go further or faster. And then they're like, running's really hard. I think, Jesus Christ, if I went and tried and ran every run as a PB, I wouldn't make it through 3 days. Like, I don't know how anyone does it. So I think just...
Check your back.
Yes. Not every run has to be really hard. I mean, my training, I do 2 to 3 hard sessions a week, and the rest is super easy.
Right.
So, and a percentage-wise, I'm running over 100 miles a week, like, the percentage of easy miles is really high.
Yeah,
and I think that's what a lot of people don't realise.
Yeah. I started to smile there when you said really easy. I'm thinking, I bet you that's like easy, like 10Ks, 5Ks left, right and centre. And when you're looking at a sprinter...
10 miles is my easy one.
You see? Oh, next question. Most annoying stereotype about being an athlete.
People think we don't eat carbs. I mean, I live on carbs. Like, oh, you must never eat any pasta or pizza. I'm like, how do you think I run a marathon? I mean, it's just the amount of sugar I ingest. I think I'm going on a sugar detox.
Okay.
Because I have the dentist booked in and I'm terrified.
Okay, yeah.
The amount of gels and drinks I've consumed.
Yeah.
We eat a lot of carbs.
Yeah, I love that. I do love that. Okay, first thing that comes into your mind when I say the word unleash. See, for me, it was quite easy. When someone says to me unleash, I just think, coming out the blocks. Because you just unleash all your power as you come out the blocks.
That was my first thought as well, but on a marathon start line.
Yeah.
And there's all that pent-up energy.
Yeah.
Especially for marathon runners, you've been tapering for 2 weeks. Yeah. And so I am literally like ready.
Yeah.
I have so much pent-up energy. And then you get all the race day nerves and you just it feels so primal, doesn't it? You're like, go, and everyone is just like this release of energy off the start line.
Now, I'm going to just add on to that a little bit of that, because how do you control that? For us, everything goes. So you just blast out, right? And all your energies, all your power. You just get rid of it all. And that's it. You've got to have a sense of control on the start line of a marathon, even though the crowd are screaming and shouting your name. How do you rein that back?
Well, it's quite funny. It always feels like such an anticlimax because you're lining up and you're like leaning forward and ready for the gun and you're so focused. And then you go and it feels like a jog. And you're like, all right.
Oh.
And then it clicks, you're like, yeah, I've got like 2 hours, 20 something of this to go. All right, here we go.
All right. When was the last time you went wild? Was it staying up at that, 10 o'clock? I know.
That is pretty wild, but I think the London Marathon, it's, for me, that it's a carnival on the day, and then you've got that whole build-up as well. You're working 3 months for this one day. There's the race day energy. You have so much kind of pent-up energy, and then just being out there finally, after all that work, and with all the people screaming, the cheer zones, the flags, the fancy dress. To me, that's wild.
It is certainly wild.
It's a party.
What motivates you now when you've achieved so much in a variety of fields? What still motivates you?
I still feel like I have so much to learn and so much to give. Each time I come out of a training block, I have this page-long list of things I want to work on. For me, that's, a lot of people ask me, it's my job, so does kind of the pressure of having to work on things all the time take away from the joy? But for me, that is the joy. I love working on the 1% and just trying to be a little bit better each day. And I guess discovering what I can do, discovering how hard I can push my body and how I get there. So for me, it's not real, I wouldn't even call it motivation. It's just what I love doing. And I'm really excited to get back to training and start working on all those things.
Do you have a running mantra? Is there something that you go, this statement, this is me, this is what keeps me going?
I've got a few. Never give up. It's simple, but it just, in marathon training, I think it's really powerful because sometimes that's what it just becomes about. It's just don't give up. Just keep trying and keep giving a little bit more each day, working on the 1% and just, never give up.
Rose Harvey, it's been a pleasure talking with you today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.